for Tobias. He says, first time really up for the Boomer tunes. Love it.
He'll never do it again.
Just wait, you gotta wait for the chorus. Anthems go make you All right, I can't keep this on. All right.
Okay.
That bit never gets old. I don't know. So what's
doesn't that song remind you of that? Didn't John Ashcroft come up with a song about something about eagles and he gave some kind of press conference and he sang some song that he wrote about, and it was the most cringy thing I'd ever seen. It was like in the early 2000s.
I wish I knew the reference. I'm sure it's poignant.
Man, I've got to find it.
The Attorney General Ashcroft?
Yeah.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, no, John Ashcroft when he was the head of Homeland Security or something. No, maybe not John Ashcroft. Who was the guy who was like the first Homeland Security guy?
Well, there's Let the Eagle Soar.
That's it. Let the eagle soar. Doesn't that song remind you of that?
Wait. I'm sorry. You guys can banter. I'm trying to figure something out here.
Speaking of eagle soars, my mic better?
No,
not at all.
This is nostalgia.
Follow me.
Hold
do
on.
an entire show on these. So last time I left you guys, I was in bad shape. I was yawning. Shut the show down early. I had no questions ready to go. You know what I am noticing though? I know it's hard for him to make it on Wednesdays.
There he is.
Iggy, the star of the show.
What's up, Iggy?
It's hard for Iggy to make it to Wednesdays?
No. Tonight, I don't know if Don's going to make it. Don's going to have a hard time on Wednesdays. And I do love having Don here. But if he can't make it, he'll have to. The problem is so the reason I asked for tonight, my son's doing driver's ed, and the driver's ed is online, and he needs my webcam. And he has it Tuesday nights and Thursday nights from 8 to 9. Oh, look at this. He made it.
Problem solved.
No way. He's home with the big C. Oh, not that. Oh, no. He means the current big C, not the big C. Big C would be cancer. He doesn't have cancer. Let's see. Christine says we're all starting it off again with Boomer Hams. Yes, of course. And Iggy made the cameo. So, I left you guys off. I was in bad shape, yawning like crazy. And I wound up going to Fire Island this weekend with my wife, spending the weekend on the boat. It said rain in the forecast. So I was posting pictures of this cloudy sky Friday as I'm leaving. As soon as we get on the road, it was like the Red Sea parted. The sun came out and it was gorgeous from the minute we got on the water until the minute we came home. We wound up staying an extra day, watched sunsets. It was 65 degrees at night. Perfect. Could not have been a better weekend to spend out on the water. It was gorgeous.
It was only 105 at 8 o'clock at night here. So that's
really.
We have
a heat wave here now, but over the weekend
it's hot here right now.
Oh no, 8 o'clock
hot.
at night it'll still be 105 degrees. Hey, there's my wife.
We'll see if we can get.
Rob, tell me real quick. I want to mess with this. Does it sound better, or do I need to mess with it some more?
You need to mess with it more. You sound like you're in an echo chamber. I mean, we can hear you. It's better than Joe B's microphone.
I don't know what's going on with it.
It just sounds like your mic is off and you're talking into the speaker.
No, it's on.
And we can hear you. It's okay.
Actually,
it's not as loud as me, which is.
Is that better?
Yeah, it is a little.
It is.
It seems like it's better.
I don't know. We'll just keep
White,
it here. Then.
White Wolf says it was 42 degrees last night by him. Where are you? That it's 42 degrees.
North Dakota.
Is it still that cold in North Dakota?
No, it's probably pretty warm in North Dakota.
Canada's in the 80s now, isn't it?
No, I mean
Alaska maybe.
It was 44 here last night.
The gabagoo.
Gabagool. So yeah, so the last
R.I.P. Tony Sirico, by the way, who played Paulie Gaultieri on The Sopranos. His brother is a priest, by the way. I didn't know that, but do you guys know? You guys know who I'm talking about? Tony Sirico.
Yeah, so it's actually one of the funniest things because I think he was actually like really a mob guy, wasn't he?
He was an associate in the Colombo family.
Yeah,
for a while.
it's always like that. It's like you got the one mob brother, and then he's got a brother that's a priest.
So like,
it's like such a cliche.
The Sopranos is my non-edifying show that I shouldn't watch, but I enjoy it anyway.
Right.
And
I've seen it 5 times. So
like I've seen it 20 times. Like I've
watched that show 5 times
and everything online. But like So
I've actually never seen it.
Never seen it either.
Neither have I.
It's like watching.
I guess we're holier than them.
No, you are, because like it's not something I would recommend to people. Like, you should really go see the Sopranos.
It's a guilty pleasure.
Tradman. Yeah, it's the show that like I shouldn't watch, but I do. And
listen, you got
Tony Sirico's brother.
It's basically like watching extended home videos for me. Like I'm watching my cousins on tape. Like I know guys like that. You have no idea. I'm not even exaggerating. I know guys like that.
Well,
I work with guys like that.
I told you about the guy in Chicago that used to hang out at the pork store in Chicago, and you could roll in there 3:00 in the morning, and just guys in jogging outfits with the gold chains with the little horn would just be hanging out, and it's like I don't think they even actually have any.
You want to know what's funny? Those connected guys.
Yeah.
You drive with them. There's never a time where you pass a church they don't make the sign of the cross. Like, I mean, they're very superstitious Catholic, I would say. Why am I see Angela, but she's not on. What's going on? Can we add her? Hi, Ange.
There she is.
Hi.
Can you hear us? Okay, good.
Yeah,
so,
I
like,
can hear you.
Whenever you hang with guys like that, they're very superstitious, culturally Catholic.
Sure.
So if they pass a cemetery, they make the sign of the cross, and they always every one of them got their chain on. They got and those guys go to confession and stuff. They just
really okay.
Yeah, man. It's just it's like it's still ingrained in them from their grandparents, I think.
Well, it's one thing to be connected. It's actually, from what I understand, and Anthony, you can correct me, if you're Italian, it's very easy to find yourself connected in some ways. Now, being a member is a totally different thing.
Yeah, being a maid guy is very different.
But being connected, you could just kind of fall. You could fall into that in a certain sense.
Yeah, you could be a friend. It could be a friend of ours, not a friend of mine.
Right. Yeah.
You ever seen Donnie Brasco?
Yeah. Forget about it.
Forget about it. So, what's going on, Ange? How's your week go?
Well, first of all, I just wanted to apologize for being late. And second, I also wanted to apologize for gracing you guys with my giant forehead for this show. Please forgive me.
All right. So for anybody that doesn't know what she's talking about, she wrote a body positivity tweet earlier, and it caught the ire of some
going really well.
jobs. And they actually pointed out they said to Angela, "You're over here making fun of people's bodies. Look at your forehead," or something along those lines.
Oh man, I should have known better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, of course, the demons come out because stating the obvious.
You didn't even say anything bad. You were just
random, that's such a random insult. That's like, and you have an ugly forehead.
I know. I looked at my husband and I started laughing. I was like, these are the kind of girls that I'm reminded of from like middle school. Like it would never occur to me to say something like that to somebody ever. But like if you never mature and grow up,
men constantly do stuff like that.
Well, the woman who did it, her profile, of course, has pronouns.
3 pounds.
And she's listed as a cat mom.
Yeah.
That explains everything. Crazy cat lady.
Oh, cat ladies.
I almost said, my husband really likes my giant forehead.
Say thank you and move on. The engagement is good for your metrics.
Yeah,
it is.
True.
It actually is. Wait, what? Oh, what did I miss? I missed somebody. What was I going to say? This is what I was going to say.
Harpies. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so that's all. Yeah. So.
Oh, look who made! I knew he was coming. He's like, I don't know, I'm gonna be a little nice. Just come whenever, bro. Don't worry about it. First off, we spend the first 15 minutes yammering about nothing.
I thought it was 10 minutes.
Yeah, 10, 20. What do we have?
20,
15 already?
30.
However many we want it to be.
I was telling
15.
them about my weekend in Fire Island. Now, if anybody
Oh,
doesn't know,
dope, yeah.
Fire Island is, if you look at a map of Long Island, underneath Long Island is this thin little strip of an island, and that's where you got like Jones Beach, Robert Moses, Gilgo Beach, and then it turns into Fire Island.
Moses?
So, Robert Moses. So last year, at the height of the pandemic, I needed cigarettes while I'm on Fire Island. The only place to get it is Cherry Grove. Now, Cherry Grove is the gay area on on Fire Island.
I was going to say, when I heard about Fire Island, that's what.
Cherry Grove. Listen, Cherry Grove, they have like drag shows, and it's really flamboyantly flaming crazy. So I'm like, Nicole, I got to get cigarettes. Let's go. We go there, and we're walking around with no mask on, and every single person there is wearing a mask. Outside, beautiful weather, everybody's got a mask on, looking at us like we're insane. They keep giving us dirty looks, pointing at us. And I just read about me not wearing a mask. Like, are you kidding me?
Don't want to catch the monkeypox.
Yeah,
I had a lady at a dental office getting after me for not wearing a mask. This was like, I don't know, 2 months ago. And she was very passive aggressive. If you're from the Midwest, you know what I mean. But like, wouldn't address me directly, but was very loudly in the lobby talking about how rude people were for not wearing their masks.
Oh, and making
whatever.
sure you over. Oh my God.
Yes.
That
And
would
it was
make me
hilarious
infuriated.
because I'm like, woman, you're in a freaking dental office. Everyone's going to be in your mouth anyway, for one. But two, then it was hilarious. This other woman came walking in. She wasn't wearing a mask, and she sat down right in between us. So she was as close as she could have been to this lady and had no idea what had just been, what had been transpiring.
Well,
it was excellent. She shut up, though, once she was outnumbered.
We know there are loopholes in the system, right? Because we learned that with the restaurants. As soon as you take your mask off,
the COVID knows.
If you're at
COVID
the dentist,
knows.
you're fine.
Well, if you're sitting.
Like I went to an ENT doctor. Wear the mask. As soon as he gets there, he's right up in your face, and it's like, oh yeah, this is a barrier that COVID cannot pass.
Well, speaking of monkeypox and Cherry Grove, I heard Cherry Grove's in quarantine right now because of the monkeypox. So,
are they wearing their masks?
I'm sure they're wearing many masks.
The masks not protect them from monkeypox.
Leather masks.
Well, didn't the CDC come out initially with monkeypox and start suggesting people wear masks? Or somebody?
Yeah, but that before they realized that
they did until people realized it was an STD.
Yeah, it's an STD spread through a certain community. Before we get going, I read your wife's account in David Gray's book. That floored me, man. What a beautiful, beautiful story. You married an awesome woman, man. Like just the idea that she stuck through that hard time with you, and just even hearing how her experience of the Latin Mass is so similar to my wife's. My wife resisted it, man. She didn't want anything to do. She didn't want to wear a veil. She wanted nothing to do with it. And after about 6 months of me just pressure, I'm like, come on, just keep coming, just keep going. She did it as a labor of love for me. Mm-hmm. She tried going back to a Novus Ordo after like 6 months. She's like, nope, that's it. I can never go back. And that's it. She's a TLM girl now. That's it.
All right, once you what's that? The Pringles. Once you pop, the fun don't stop. Right?
You really do. You get. It's more of a shock to go back to the Novus Ordo after being at the traditional mass than it is to go to the traditional mass the first time from the Novus Ordo.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. Well, thank you for checking that story out, man.
Oh, it was awesome, man. I was choked up reading it.
Yeah, you're right. And to your point, like in some Catholic circles, and the reason why I really like you guys, man, is that I've been searching for some authentic Catholics, man. Not to say that I haven't met any, but some of the people I hang around, man, they have these like rosy lives, right? And it's like counter to what my life is like. Okay, my life is a lot of LARPing, crazy. Yeah, there's
a lot of LARPing in the trad community, and it's like, dude, I'll never be the guy that smokes cigars and drinks.
Right.
Yeah, I'm just not that dude,
I'm
man.
Getting off here, right? You know what I'm saying? I rock Timberlands. I'm just me. You know what I'm saying? I listen to hip hop. I'm a Tribe Called Quest fan. You know, but that's the clique I come out of. You know what I'm saying? And I believe I can be authentically Catholic.
We're gonna have to do a hip hop show because me and you are the same age. Me and you are the same age. And
what's better, the original scenario track or the remix? I like the remix.
Man,
the remix is better, man. I think
that's got Buster on it, don't it? The remix, yes, yeah. Buster kills it,
dude. So 90s, so 80s and 90s hip hop was like that was my moment. You know,
that's it, bro. Yep.
Yeah, all right. But now, so you grew up in Texas and you grew up in Detroit, right?
Yeah.
All right. So now, growing up, I'm listening to Gangstar. I'm listening to
yes, sir.
I'm listening to Boot Camp Click, Helter Skelter. I'm listening to Rascast. I'm listening to I wasn't listening to DMX and Method Man yet. I mean, I was.
Wu-Tang,
I mean, listen, you have the big guys that you always listen to, but anything that DJ Premier put out, I was all over. So I'm listening to even Group Home, and I mean,
I just found that the Shaolin Temple here in Houston, and every time I pass by it, I throw the dubs up, man.
We have one right by us, don't we? Don't we, Mark? We have one right by us.
No, that's not.
That's a Buddhist temple.
There's a Buddhist, and the Shaolin are Buddhist too, but this is an actual Shaolin Buddhist temple.
That's a different one. Okay.
Yeah,
I got some Freemason. I got a Masonic temple near me.
Oh, we got those.
Hey, we have them everywhere here.
You know, at work, the office right next to me, there's the HSE guy. He's a Mason. He has Mason stuff all in his office and stuff like that. And then where at the local wrestling tournaments my kids do, sometimes the overflow from the parking lot is at the Mason Lodge across the street.
Wow.
And I told my office, I said, don't park there. Park on the street.
Unfortunately, my grandfather is a 33rd degree Scottish Rite Shriner Mason. And so I had to go through the whole, getting those exercise prayers.
Deliverance prayers.
Yeah, deliverance prayers and stuff. Yeah,
wow.
Because it's crazy.
Wait a minute. I just have to check over in the comments, and anytime you check over in the comments, White Wolf is off on some crazy tangent. The 80s was the decade the USA became the seat of the Antichrist. I'm being bombarded with sheeple gas. Stop it. I don't even know. Sometimes he goes off on these tangents. You have no idea what he's talking about.
Well, I also want to avoid any scandal in your comments. I saw Christine. Me and Mark are both married. This thing says she's with a young trad man. That's neither me or Mark.
So I hear you, man. I'm with a very solid young trad man, but he doesn't have to LARP he's in a different period of time. Yeah, that's honestly I don't
a different period in time, right?
We knew she wasn't talking about us when she described him as young. That was.
I don't hate on anybody that smokes a pipe or smokes a cigar. That's your thing. I'm not gonna LARP, bro. I'm not gonna try to be somebody I'm not. I can only be me. I smoke Newports, and I don't know what you guys want from me.
I enjoy a cigar and a pipe, but it is boring by yourself.
Yeah, it's a social thing.
Social thing.
Yeah.
For sure.
So I recently just gave up drinking altogether because I've had to. This is one of these moments I really had to be seriously. Is solidly taken by a jealous over the top Spaniard. Yeah, my wife is Cuban and has no chill. So like if the waitress comes by and is like, "Can I refill your tea?" My wife is like, "Listen here, he is mine." No, I had to give up drinking altogether because I can't have a beer. I don't want a beer. I want 12 beers. And I had to be honest with myself. It's one of those moments where you just had to have a serious honest examination of conscience, and it's until I get it under control, I just stay away from it altogether. And what's weird is I'm fine to not have a drink. I can be in a room full of people who are having a drink and having a good time and not have one. But it's if I have one, I'm off to the races, and I don't know why I'm like that. But I got to get it under control.
You're Irish.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Did y'all ever see that Futurama episode where it went back in the day, a long time ago, and it showed the Irish had flying cars. They were super smart, super civilized. And,
I remember
some
that.
guy comes up and he's like, "We've invented beer." Or whiskey or something like that, and they start drinking and they start fighting.
The whole society goes down.
Well, it's funny to talk about that, but Ireland today is the economic powerhouse that it is because teetotaling became a thing around the turn of the century. You'll find a lot of teetotalers in Ireland to this day, but back in the middle of the 19th century, I mean, the stereotypes were true, and the Irish, the Catholics anyway, lived in abject poverty. Largely, you know, you can blame the Brits for what you want to blame them for, but the fact is we lived in the bottle, and is, you know, sometimes stereotypes are born in truth. Sometimes, I don't know.
Well, yeah, me and my wife will do stints without drinking. So last year we went from we gave it up for Lent and we stuck it out through the summer. And to not have a drink throughout the entire summer was one of the hardest things I ever did. But we made it, and then now, you know, back to drinking. I probably should give it up again.
Sometimes I like to give it up, like abstain from it on Fridays in like as a sacrifice for people who struggle with addiction.
Yeah.
There was a period of time I did that.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to get away from the depressing talk.
Yeah.
Last week it was dead grandmothers. This week it's alcoholics. And
finally.
But yeah, I mean, how y'all enjoy y'all anniversary? Seemed like y'all got it in really good.
Robbie, we had such beautiful weather, such a good time. It was like right now, my wife and I are on one of those mountaintops. Like it's like, you know, we get a little couple days away from the kids, and it was like floating on air. My wife is obsessed with sunset. Like she just wants to see the sunset. So if you can take her somewhere where there's a beautiful sunset, she's in her glory. And she had that all weekend. So
that's dope. Good.
All right. So you guys all switch over to private chat. And all right. So wait, we got. Oh, this is their first time making it.
Root beer. He's the root beer guy.
Yeah. All right, let's see. All right, so first question. What are the sins against hope?
Anything I do wrong to my wife.
Sins against hope. That's actually that was quick, Rob. Sins against hope. Anytime I annoy hope.
Which is all the time.
Yeah. Imagine every time we come on this show, she's annoyed.
Do you want one or two, Anthony? Sins.
Well, it says 2 here. I'll take 1. I'll tell you what. We'll take, if you get 1, you get 1 point. You get both, you get 2 points. Do it like that. So let's see. I got it in the chat. Which one of you guys got it?
I got it.
Of course he did. Nerd.
All right. So the most popular one I think is despair.
That's one.
And then the other one is I just had it on my tongue. Presumption.
Give the man 2 points.
Okay.
Give the man 2 points. I got a lot of people got 1. Let's see. I'm seeing a lot of people getting 1, and the first person to get both was Don. So you're gonna give Don 2. Jeff gets 1. White Wolf gets 1. And
Disappear.
Despair.
We gotta give it to him.
Yeah, give it to him.
You want to ride?
Faith was with us from the first episode, man.
How'd she know it existed?
I don't know, man. It was an accidental thing, but Faith was with us on the first episode. Don says, take a point from Jake. Jake's not here. But as soon as
Take it from him anyway.
Why isn't Jake here? Where is Jake?
I forgot to send him an invite.
Well, he's like off of Twitter.
Yeah, he's off of Twitter, so he wouldn't have got my memo. Really, Rob's his friend. Rob should have invited him, but
yeah, my bad. I think I probably did him a favor more than anything.
okay. I would not know this, but I'm going to see if you guys know it. Name the decorated band worn around the left arm by the priest. These are like tricky, in the weeds questions.
Well, that's also a trad question.
I know what it represents.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I know what it represents. Yeah, I can't remember the name.
What does he mean? Getting better than the rundown? I don't know what he means by getting better than the rundown. I think we can take those guys. All right, I got correct answers. Which one of you guys got it? Anyone?
Me.
Mark.
It is the maniple.
It is the maniple. Give the man a point.
Yeah. Now that I hear it, I know it.
A vestment that was done away with in the post-conciliar liturgy. So,
Can you restate the question again, just so I can know what it was?
It was the decorated band worn around the left arm by the priest. It's called
What's a
maniple.
band?
it's
It's
band, man.
yeah, it's a band. It just hangs off the arm.
Connor, do you go to Latin mass?
I do. I was thinking ring when I was thinking band.
Oh, okay, yeah, because it's the
But-
thing. He takes it off before he does the homily.
He's thinking.
Well,
like,
I know what a
thinking like
maniple is.
Oh, okay,
I was
okay.
just confused with the wording of
Oh,
the
gotcha.
question.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
He's thinking like a bartender.
Oh, wait.
But I was.
White Wolf says the maniple was originally used to wipe the sweat off in hot climates. I have
Did not
no
know
idea
that.
if that's true. but-
Interesting.
That is true. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
like
that was
it was for sweat.
because it's the sweat of the brow. Like it
Yeah.
symbolizes the labor of the like the
Oh,
yoke.
that's really interesting.
I don't.
So it's
yeah.
it's taking off the sweat of the brow. It represents the labor of the yoke.
Never banned of the Nova Soda, simply unmentioned in the rubrics. Okay, cool.
All right, so let's see. Okay, so this one, what famous Catholic astronomer proposed that the planets revolve around the sun and the earth rotates on its axis? What famous Catholic astronomer basically upended everything in science at the time?
The original. You know, this is actually tough. It could be two.
This
Well,
is
there
very-
you go.
There's two
yeah.
options.
There's two.
Yeah.
There's two possible answers to
Yeah,
it.
I'm kind of wondering
There's
if
one
my
possible answer. A lot of people are going to guess the wrong one.
No.
It's the guy who came first. That's the only hint I'll
Okay.
give you.
All right. Well, now that clarifies.
That's the hint I'll give you. The guy who came first.
Okay,
Shoot.
All right, which one of you guys got it?
Jason.
I got it, but I think I got it wrong because I kind of jumped the gun. I was just gonna say Galileo, but
So that's the second guy.
yeah,
I'll give you another guess.
Ah,
If you guess
just-
that.
I don't.
Yeah, you
I
got
don't,
it.
I don't know the first.
All right, somebody can steal his point. Who wants in?
Angela typed in second.
That's what I was going to guess and tell. And you know what?
Hey, why,
I
come on,
know
like-
the name is on the tip of my tongue, but I
Oh, when you
don't
hear
know.
it, you're gonna be
I'm
so
gonna
angry.
be mad. So,
Is it
and I'm
me?
even going to be more
No,
mad.
Darren's
because
next.
Darren is next.
Mark, you're down the list, bud.
I'm after
Hold your horses.
Darren.
All right, Darren going for point 3.
Copernicus.
It is
Yeah,
Copernicus.
Oh my God.
Okay. Okay.
There's actually some challenges out against that.
Yeah.
Yo. Nah.
Listen, last week
The
I was so
geocentrics are
tired.
coming back. They making a comeback, yo.
Yeah.
Last week I was so tired. I just went through it. I looked at questions. I'm like, that one's easy. I'll just ask that one. Everybody said, "Yo, what's up, Enoch?" Everybody last week was like, "Wow, I actually knew the answers to the questions this week."
Is it me or does it seem like a lot of sedevacantists are becoming flat earthers as well?
I think they're into slaying vampires.
Or
They're
is that
into-
just more of a Twitter phenomenon?
Yeah.
You never know about
It's more of an
vampires.
online thing.
Okay, because
That's-
it seems like the most people with at least within my interactions that I see talk about a flat earth are almost always sedevacantists online, at least.
I was participating in a trivia contest a few months ago, and one of the best team names was Flat Earthers from around the globe.
So the Earth is not flat, but White Wolf is technically. I mean, if you think about what relativity is, right? So relativity is wherever you're standing, things are moving. So if you're standing on the Earth, then yes, the heavens are revolving around you. So I mean,
Yeah,
technically,
it's not. Yeah, I mean,
what I
it's
wanna
kind of
know is why
different
they don't let
terminology.
flights go across the ice wall over there by the Antarctica.
So my baby accidentally timed out Christine. She deserves a bonus point. What do you mean timed her out?
I think as a mod, she put her in timeout accidentally.
Oh.
Hey, my baby caused me to get the wrong answer. Give me a bonus point.
Yo, this is Mac Frad. What's Mac Frad doing? All right.
So who got that point?
Darren.
Darren.
And are we
Hi,
taking
Darren.
one away from Jason?
No.
I mean, rules are rules, man. Rules are rules. You got to take a point away. Jake was here, I would take the point away from Jake, but
So Rob did save him.
He'd be negative 2 right now.
Wait, Mac, are you saying you're way up in Minnesota right now?
Yeah, I want to know.
Okay.
okay. Question: what are we on, 3 or 4 or something? Where do the holy souls reside? Where do the holy souls reside? I would have gotten this wrong. Joe, I still owe you a prize, Joe. I have not forgotten about you, Joe. I've just been very lazy.
Is your grifter account empty? You need some money?
I actually have. You know what? This is a great time to mention the grifter jar. Rob, you got a link for the grifter jar? Put it in yours because mine, my new Twitter account, I don't have anything set up on there.
What was that?
The tip jar. Put a link for the tip jar up.
Oh,
So,
okay,
guys,
got it.
yeah, me and Rob need a little help sending out books here. So, Joe says he's here for the boat. All right. So I got correct answers in the chat. Which one of you guys got it?
Mark.
Well,
Mark,
Mark,
but
but
he
he
gone.
just
Nah,
disappeared.
we got Mark. He's here. He's here. All right, Mark,
Okay.
you're
Yep.
up. What do you got?
Cutting out on me. Purgatory.
They are in purgatory. I wouldn't have thought the holy souls are in purgatory.
The
It
saints
sounded
are,
like you-
the saints are in heaven, and
Yeah,
the
I
holy
know.
souls are in purgatory.
Yeah.
It sounded like you said purgatory.
No, I said purgatory. I pronounced that one correctly.
Is that where burgers reside?
That's right, where
Purgatory?
burgers reside. They're in
The
purgatory.
Hamburglar.
Oh my gosh!
Burger
How do we not have a restaurant called Burgatory?
Hey.
How's
Log
that?
that.
Yeah, we'll talk offline. We'll get that going.
I need my
Hey, I get
attorney.
name rights.
Yeah, I need my attorney to copyright that. Mark, get it done.
That's right.
Fun fact:
Hi.
Purgatory is a restaurant in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Really?
Oh.
I love Pittsburgh.
So
and it would make sense too because I would be stuck in there all the time, and people would be wondering how do we get Mark out of purgatory?
maybe that should be our pilgrimage. Instead of coming to start with a blessed call thing, we'll do a pilgrimage to
I
purgatory.
love it.
He'll be really
all right.
confused.
So Rob just put the link up. This is a tip jar for anybody that watches and wants to help us. We're not asking for $20. You guys got $2. You throw $2 in the tip jar. If 10 people do it, then me and Rob don't have to lay out money for a book this week. It works out
And
great.
no competitors put tips in there. Got that, Darren?
Oh yeah. You guys, I won't accept money from you guys.
You guys are
Darren.
helping us out enough as it is.
Yeah, you guys are giving us your time. I will not accept tips from anybody that's coming on the show. All right, so
Set up a fake account. Put it in there.
went there for indulgence. All right. What is a silly question? All right. I'm gonna just start reading them without actually. I'm gonna just say them out loud without reading them first. What is the term given to the declaration granting freedom of religious worship to all in England except Catholics?
Ooh.
I don't know if anybody's getting
Need
this.
Dr. Alex Bilikowski for this one,
I
Mark.
don't know if anybody's
Yeah,
getting
man,
this.
that's
And actually, be honest, I think he may have gone over this during our night's meeting.
He probably did, but I don't remember
But
what
that
it
was months
called.
ago. Yeah.
I mean, does
because
anybody
he
know
did
this?
because he did a segment on English
English
Catholicism
martyrs.
in English. Yeah.
Yeah.
I forget the name of these things.
I know it's not the Magna Carta.
No, it's not the
No.
Magna Carta.
Yeah, that's a good point. Can we just answer what it's not?
There you go.
You know what? I don't know if anybody's ever gonna. I never even heard this before. I don't know. I should have read the question before reading it out loud.
I didn't know there was one where it was everybody but the Catholics.
Well, that makes sense after, like.
Let me say,
Queen
what is the
Elizabeth.
term given to the declaration granting freedom of religious worship to all in England except? So maybe the Catholics are the one that gave it.
No.
Not that the Catholics were refused it.
What?
This is called.
What year is this? Does it say what year?
Yeah,
Doesn't say what
that's
year.
the real
I'm
thing.
gonna
is
give it a
this
shot.
17
I'm gonna give it a shot.
I feel like it's
Let's hear it.
1700s. Or-
If you get it, let me know when I'll get a right answer.
Nobody's getting it in the chat, so
Go ahead. And
I
guess.
think one person did get it.
Is it the Westminster Confession?
No. But if nobody else gets it, I'm not taking a point from you.
Christine got it.
Let me see. No.
You sure?
Yeah. Not what the game says, but we all know how the game sucks.
They also call it the Declaration for Liberty of Conscience.
I'm getting the act of toleration.
Yeah, that makes more sense. But
that does sound familiar. Okay.
Act of toleration, yeah.
what's the one that emancipates Catholics? I'm guessing it's Catholic.
That wouldn't come
That's the
around until
Magna
like the
Carta.
middle of the night. No, the Magna
No,
Carta
it's not
is
the Magna Carta.
No. I'm sorry. Not the Magna Carta. I'm thinking back to the 3rd century. The freaking one Constantine.
because the Act of Toleration happened under William of Orange. That was William III in 1690.
Yeah, no, but it. So in 18 something, the emancipation of
Right.
Catholics would have taken place.
Yeah, we were made good again in Britain.
No, we were made okay.
Well, believe it or not,
Probably
we're
more like
okay, more or less in England, except in certain parts of the lowlands of Scotland and in certain places in the north of Ireland, where Catholicism does not go down at all.
All right, now I got another question here I'm going to ask, and I think we're going to get different answers.
Okay.
Are you going to take
Two of them?
Are you
two
going
of
to
them-
take a point away if we get it wrong? Since there's 2.
So there's 3 answers, and 2 of them are obvious. It's the 3rd one I think we're going to run into issues with. Okay. What have been the 3 official languages used by the Western Church for divine worship from the time of Christ until Vatican II? 3 languages used from the time of Christ until Vatican II. And I know everybody's going to get 2 of them, but I think this 3rd one's going to be a little controversial. Because I would think it's different.
I can't see how confusing this would be.
Read me the question one more time.
Okay,
I
so
just want to make sure I get it right.
who's got a dance party going on? In the
I know. I was going to ask who's at the club.
I think it's Robbie.
Up in the,
Yeah, my bad. Yeah, you gotta mute my mic. Yeah, I'm in an undisclosed location right now.
Nice.
What kind of club has kids drawings on the wall?
Love it.
It ain't Chuck E. Cheese, that's for sure.
All right, so what have been the 3 official languages used by the Western Church for divine worship from the time of Christ till Vatican II?
Okay,
And
I'm ready.
I'm seeing correct answers and the other answer that I'm thinking everybody's going to say. So I'm seeing both answers in the chat.
Go ahead, Jason.
Okay, so Greek and Latin, and then
Those are 2
yeah,
obvious.
those are 2 obvious. And I had 2 that I was debating, but I'm going to go with Aramaic for the 3rd.
That's correct on the game. But I would have thought Hebrew.
That was the other one I was thinking, but I thought Aramaic more fit what was going on around that time.
Isn't Aramaic
But
a
here's the
version
thing.
of Hebrew?
Here's the problem.
It's
For
a
worship,
Semitic language.
for
yeah.
worship, they prayed in Hebrew. They would have conversed in Aramaic, but the Jews do not back in those days did not converse in Hebrew the way that we didn't use Hebrew as a conversational language. It's called Lashon HaKadosh, which means it's the holy tongue. That in their minds, like at the time of Christ, that's the language God gave the commandments in. You don't have conversations about fishing in that language. That is only for reading the Torah
so then the game's
and
wrong.
saying the prayer. But I don't know if the game is wrong, but it seemed.
No,
I wasn't there.
That's the Jewish custom. That's not the early Christian custom.
Yeah.
Well,
But
Aramaic
to the extent that
was
we came from the early those first century Jews, yeah, that would be my guess.
Arameic's used in the Maronite
You're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
It is
It is.
very.
So-
Great. Yep, that's
for,
it.
for specifically the words of consecration.
You're right. You're right.
So
I'd
that
love
would be
to
the
hear
only
that.
thing that I could think of as being the reason. But Hebrew's used in the Roman Rite,
Yeah.
not Aramaic.
Well, it's in the Western Church, so
There's Hebrew. There's a Hebrew word actually in in the Western in the Roman
Yeah.
in the Roman Mass. Do you know what it is?
Healing.
Amen.
Hallelujah.
Well, no, it's Sabaoth.
Well, going back
Tony
to what
Suchere,
Rob
Gloria
was saying,
to-
you're thinking of the Western Church, of course, Greek and Latin. I think the others are kind of harder to pinpoint if you're thinking of a strictly Western originated language,
Well, it's not originated because Greek would still be.
The answer is yes, Tobias. I am just making up questions. I mean, that's what we always do.
Connor, what were you saying about Greek, though?
Well, Greek would. I mean, if we're talking about originated in the West,
Well, I
it's-
just think of like West
sure.
in general,
I
but
yeah,
I
I
don't
know
know.
what you mean. It's still weird. I don't understand why
Well-
it's Aramaic and not Hebrew.
Okay, this is a good one. How many natures does Christ have?
Oh man.
Hopefully, you guys have been watching. What's his name on Meaning of Catholic?
Oh, Father Ripperger?
No.
The guy who's doing the councils.
Yeah. What's
I don't remember
Oh,
that.
Jake.
Jake Fowler? Yeah.
How many natures does Jesus have? All right, which one of you guys got it?
Jason.
But I'm kind of scared to answer in case I get it wrong.
Let's
I was
go.
going to say two
Yeah, okay.
One nature, two persons, Jason.
or the other way.
No, we won't anathemize you today.
No, it's two
Gotta get
natures,
that-
one person. Two
Yeah.
natures in one person. And Joe says he's gonna get a boat.
I'm always afraid of answering that question.
So I got
Yeah,
it right.
because
You
yeah, you
confused
got it
me.
right. No, you got it right. You got it right. I was
Okay,
just-
The
well,
Oriental
don't turn me
Orthodox.
into a heretic. Like, jeez.
The Oriental
No,
Orthodox
because somebody, oh, I think Taylor Marshall one day.
Yes,
asked,
he
"Is Jesus
did."
A divine person or a human person? And everybody was like, "Wait a minute, he's
Yeah,
two
that's-
persons. No, he's one person. He's a divine person
Two
He's a-
natures.
with two natures, with a human nature and a divine nature. He's
Yes.
one person, a divine.
Yeah, one
person.
person. Yeah.
Unless you're Oriental Orthodox.
Yeah.
What
Yes.
are they?
Yeah, that's the
The
Eritrean
monophysite.
the Eritrean
um,
Orthodox Church, the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, and the Coptic Church. Yeah.
They're
Yep.
monophysites.
What about the Assyrian Orthodox Church? Did they subscribe to that?
Like the Maya.
Is that the Armenian one, or is that something different?
Well,
I think the Armenians are with the Greeks on that one, but
isn't the Chaldean Catholic?
Chaldean,
technically
yeah,
a-
the-
yeah.
Chaldean.
the
They're
Chaldeans.
Catholic.
Well, there's a Chaldean Catholic Church, and then there's an Assyrian Orthodox Church, which is does not subscribe to that council.
Or are they the Nestorians?
Those Eastern, no, historians are in Iran, aren't they?
Not anymore, really.
I don't
No,
I think you're right. Yeah.
They were in Iran, anyways, or Persia.
Yeah, Syriac Orthodox does take the Miaphysite.
I love how many patriarchs of Antioch there are. There's so many.
Really?
There are like
really?
three.
Catholic,
There are 3 Catholic ones, and 2 Orthodox ones, I think.
Have y'all ever watched that documentary on the Church of the Holy Sepulchre and how the different churches dice that up? It is a sin, but I tell you what, it's very interesting, but it is a scandal. The Catholics, the Greek Orthodox, and the Armenians share the main church, and then some other Orthodox groups get some of the outside areas. The Eritrean and the Ethiopian Orthodox have to live up on the roof. They're not even allowed in the main church. I mean, it is such a scandal sometimes, and
That's
but
kind of funny.
it is funny. But like, and do you know what the agreement is called by which they share that space? It is the root word of a word that we use all the time to describe something that is good as is, and we don't want to upset it. The agreement is called the status quo. That's where that comes from. The status quo is the agreement between the Christian churches as to how to divide up the Church of the Holy Sepulchre.
Just leave it alone. Everything's working. Don't
and
ruffle
so we
any
maintain the
feathers.
status quo because monks will get into fist fights in there over who gets to pray the divine office in this section of the church at this hour. I mean, they're not kidding. And the Israeli police have to have their own special Christian. He has to be a Christian who polices that area of the Armenian Quarter in the Old City. It was a very interesting documentary. It's on YouTube and it's free, so just type it in and you know.
Mark,
I just
wanna-
love the idea of them being on the roof.
The Eritrean Orthodox and the Ethiopian Orthodox have to live up on the roof. And they have a little monastery up there that they built
on the roof.
Yeah, the ladder that can't be moved because it's part of the status quo. There was a ladder that they were doing some work onto the church one day, and the workmen left the ladder there. But because of the way the status quo is designated, and it comes down to half of a pillar. Whose half of the pillar does this belong to, and who does this half of the pillar belong to? It is absurd. And at one point, I was watching this and I was like, this is a sin. Like, God is going to judge us for this, but it is still interesting and funny. Anyway.
Speaking of another crazy story, just to piggyback on you, Mark, did y'all ever hear the story? Y'all probably have, I would assume, but at The Hague, I think in the early 20th century, about the Orthodox priest that went in there and gave performed divine liturgy. Did y'all ever hear that story? So I guess I don't know if I've got all necessarily the details right, but I guess that was the time when the Muslims maybe weren't controlled. Yeah.
Not the
So
Hague.
the
Hague's in the
Hague's in
Netherlands.
Netherlands.
I'm like, what is
I'm
talking
so
about?
confused.
What did I say?
You said the Hague, but
You said
the
the
Hagia
Hague.
Sophia
Hagia Sophia, sorry.
is the cathedral.
Okay.
Okay, but this Orthodox priest, it was like in 1901.
We don't
or
get
something
caught
like
up in
that.
details over at Tradman. We like to just gloss over in general. Yeah.
The Hague.
So him and some people, they go in and they start performing divine liturgy, and they're not supposed to do it. And it hadn't been done in, I guess centuries at that point. And they go in, they perform it, and you can read about it online. And I guess all the Muslims at the time were starting to get agitated with them. The police had to protect it. And then they had to, once they were done, they basically had to get out quick because people were the Muslims were looking to harm them.
Yeah.
But anyway,
They say that it's a mosque and they'll defend it to the death now.
Well, it was a museum at the
Necessary
time, I
details.
think.
Well, it didn't become a museum until
Rob, I'm saying, who wrote this? It's not... Jason, just redeem yourself and just say
They just hate us because they ain't us. They just hate us because they ain't us. man.
whatever. I accept who I am. I've got body positivity and
I would
mind
never have you any
positivity.
other way, brother.
I was just like, why are the Orthodox in the Netherlands?
This took a weird turn.
Yeah, I don't know what.
Listen, y'all just need to learn to figure out what I'm saying and go with it.
I figured it out. I knew right away what you meant.
I'm still
You
working on
did?
homosexuality. So.
Homosexuality.
Keep it up.
Should we wait for Angela for the next question?
Well,
I
she
think
went off
she's
to do.
giving up on us.
She's doing something.
All right. So, in the second century, what holiday did the East and West fight bitterly over in determining when the date should fall? Which holiday did the East and West fight bitterly over to determine the date in the second century? Ooh, everybody was fast with that one. Who got it?
I got it.
What you got?
I got Easter.
You got it right. Good job. They determined which date finally at The Hague.
What is? Sorry, I'm
Next.
looking for this story.
Back to
I'm
the
assuming-
king.
No, it's a good story.
So didn't Ireland put up a big fight about Easter also?
Yeah,
Ireland
well,
converted?
that's that. So the Easter Rising happened on the the revolution that kicked off against the Brits in 1916 kicked off on the Monday of Easter week. So the joke is, and it's called the Easter Rising
In
so
The Hague.
Yeah, in The Hague. And
In
so
The Hague.
the joke is that Jesus rose on Sunday, and on Monday it was the Irish.
After they woke up from being drunk.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, see, the problem is by 1916 they were all Marxist-Leninists, and that they had gotten down with Sinn Féin and the IRA. Because I guess one famine wasn't bad enough. I guess we need another one for something like that. But
Wasn't one of? Have you seen the Liam Neeson movie with?
yeah,
Taken.
Michael Collins. Michael
I
Collins.
thought he was a Marxist too. I didn't.
They,
think he was.
Sinn Féin by that time and still to this day is a Marxist-Leninist party. And honestly, I often wonder if the Irish would have embraced the church and embraced their Catholicism like the Poles did. Wonder how differently that whole thing could have turned out. Who knows? I mean, I'm not, I just think that I think the partition is the only thing keeping Sinn Féin in business. Ever since they came out as pro-abortion, I'm done. You got good luck to you. You guys aren't Catholic and you don't represent. I doubt very seriously they have any real representation in the Irish Catholic community that anybody considers themselves Catholic. But.
Sorry.
And that's how Mark got a hit put out him by the IRA. So, hey guys, I got this interesting package in the mail. What
All right. This is a Bible question. Rob, you want to participate?
No, not at this point.
All right. I've asked this on the show before, but I don't think for any of you guys. Darren, you might have been here, but who provided the burial plot where Jesus' body was placed after the crucifixion?
Dang it,
I know
Robbie.
this one.
Who provided the burial plot for Jesus' body? Let's see.
Sometimes I just want to type in page break and then throw my initial.
So, like right now, what is he even talking about? He just goes off on these tangents.
Fortunately for Holy Mother Church of Mine, St. John died out with St. Basil.
What is he talking about?
Hey,
Yeah, that's
Apostolic succession or something? I have no idea.
But Saint John, I didn't think was the head of a C.
His disciples were, but
I thought Andrew was in.
Don said he's responding to a different show. He's watching the rundown right now. He's in a whole episode of the rundown and responding to that. All right, I got correct answers. Which one of you guys got it?
Robbie.
yeah. I'm gonna go with Joseph of Arimathea.
That is correct, Rob. Getting on the board. Good man.
Yeah, I got on the board. Yeah. I can't go scoreless. You know what I'm saying?
Better than -1.
Better than -1 all day. When my bank account used to look like -1, baby.
Overdraft charge every paycheck. Overdraft charge. I remember those days. $35 overdraft. You gotta be kidding me.
Aromatherapy.
the root beer guy.
Hey. Oh yeah. I definitely gotta come hit you up, Mark. We gotta go do some.
Wow.
Hey Rob, I sent you on our text. I sent you a link to that story I told you about. I don't know if you want to share it because I think it's a fascinating story. That if anybody wants to read about it, they'll be able to read it in the pronunciation they want to read it.
What do you mean?
Here, I'll put it up.
Because, like I said, it's a really fascinating story.
Okay, so what is the corresponding virtue to the capital sin of sloth or sloth? I mean, it's spelled sloth. I don't know why. And sloths move slow. So I don't know why people call it sloth.
I've never heard it called that.
You never heard it called sloth?
Never heard it called sloth.
It's never.
Never?
No,
That
Here's
would have to be spelled with an E at the end of it.
Sloth, I've heard Father Mike Schmitz call it that. I've heard Taylor Marshall call it that. I thought I was saying it wrong. Sloth. All right, great.
You're gonna have to prove that either one of them said it that
I'm
way.
gonna get the video clip.
I want to see it.
I'll get it right now. Actually, I'll tell you in 2 seconds.
He's like, you know what?
How exactly are you going to search for this? You can't exactly spell sloth.
With member
Ooh,
prices,
sorry.
Expedia member.
Sorry, hang on. I got it.
Coughing like a vampire, right? Because vampires aren't coffins. Dumb, stupid.
Ascension presents.
Hi, my name is Father Mike Schmitz, and this is Ascension Presents. A lot of people struggle with procrastination. And when I say procrastination, you probably know what I know, is that procrastination does not mean I'm doing nothing. Procrastination doesn't mean I'm doing nothing. Procrastination means I'm doing everything except for the one thing I'm supposed to be doing, doesn't it? Right? That's it. If that's you, then you are struggling with something that's bigger than simple procrastination. You're struggling with something that virtually every Christian has struggled with, all the way back
Get
the time
to
of
it.
Jesus and from then on. In the early church, so actually maybe 300 years after Christ, in the early church, you had some people when Christianity became like the religion of the Roman Empire.
If he says sloth, I'm gonna go nuts. If I'm sitting through this and he says sloth, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Hey, look! One of the haters from Twitter is here.
We're called to enter into the wilderness, literally, who go into the desert and live in a little hut. They were hermits, and they just devoted their lives to penance. They devoted.
Ooh, what about that?
All right, I'll find it and I'll post it. Wait. All right, so this Angela who judges people's weight, realize she's being a hypocrite. Thou shalt not judge. She's allowed to judge people's weight because she has a big forehead.
And
I've earned that right.
And do these people
earned
realize that obesity and stuff like that has more to do than just weight?
Watching you
weight
guys
doesn't
literally
necessarily
depressing.
dictate obesity.
That's what I said in my
Do they not know judging people relates
Brittany,
to
the
judging their
feeling
soul?
is mutual, love. I can't stress it enough.
Dang.
Here's the thing, Brittany and it's so or whatever your name is. Listen,
You can't even pronounce sloth. Good luck with that one.
Angela was not trying to be mean. She was saying she wants people. She cares about people.
Oh, don't have arguments with these people. Don't do
Yeah,
that.
not worth it.
No.
Father Mike Schmitz.
Okay, I'm connecting the dots now. All right.
Brittany,
Angela pissed a lot of people
that's
off.
not very
Who is
nice.
who is Haley?
We
Haley's
are
our
probably the worst
moderator.
people Haley connects
Hallelujah.
with. I agree with that, but
So Haley, we'll give them a minute. They haven't been taken. They can stick around.
There's some real beef going on.
We
Yeah,
love our
because
enemies.
I
on this show.
pointed out that the whole body positivity movement
let's plug that down.
really just is about encouraging people to accept that obesity is normal. That's not me saying that, we should be encouraging unhealthy eating disorders. All I'm saying is that we shouldn't encourage people to be unhealthy. It's not good for our bodies.
Real
Isn't
quick,
it-
Brittany,
so-
this is ridiculous. We do know who Haley is. Haley's a moderator on the channel, and she will block you if you say something stupid.
That's funny.
So
anyway, I was just pointing
father?
out that the body positivity movement is just not helpful because it's not. We're trying to normalize something that's not normal.
Yeah, for sure. Down is up is down, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, and likewise, yeah. I mean, they've
all right,
gone
Haley, let's
ridiculous.
bounce them. Block.
Deviancy is something to be praised for them. That's
Well,
the
I mean,
name
it's
of the
just
game
everything
anyways.
you have to deny reality, right? Like we live in this world where there is no objective truth. It's like if anyone who knows people who have struggled with their weight or whatever, whether that's on the end of struggling with eating disorders and starving yourself or struggling with eating disorders where you're overeating, that's not shaming people to point out that that's unhealthy. Our bodies are a temple of the Holy Spirit and we should treat it as such.
You're here.
So I
Oh,
don't know.
man.
Are you
And
telling me to stop
Go
smoking?
ahead.
Are you telling me to stop smoking?
Father Rip just said it's all right to have a couple smokes, didn't y'all remember hearing
Here
him
and
say
there.
something like that?
Yeah.
Here and
I think
there,
what
right?
I'm-
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I
But
go.
you chaining it, huh?
As long as it's not straight up killing you.
Angela, going to what you were saying about truth being subjective to people today. I don't want to go into the details, but that was basically my whole. Before the show, we were having a discussion about a discussion I had with HR at work, and that was literally my whole pitch of them is that truth is not subjective, perception is not reality. Just because somebody perceives something a certain way doesn't make that the truth of the matter. And we can't, if you're going around saying everybody's perception is correct, well, you're asking for chaos. And that's what we're at. And look at our society. It's a complete chaos because truth is subjective and everybody's perception is truth. And that's
and can I just say, the other thing that I think is really interesting about the body positivity movement is it's literally only in America that we're celebrating this. And it's also in America that has the FDA with the worst standards in the world for food and drugs. And these are both of the major institutions that have a lot to gain from people's obesity, right? Like the agricultural industry, Monsanto, all these people, they get to make huge profits.
Monsanto. You guys are on fire with your pronunciations tonight.
Nobody can pronounce it.
We're going to Monsanto and Hague.
Sorry. So they are the ones making food really unhealthy. Because they're producing it in mass using bad chemicals. People are obese and struggling with their weight. And then the FDA comes out with drugs that don't help, but you'll stick on the drugs for the rest of your life and they will kill you.
The number one killer in America is heart disease. And no question. It ain't AR-15s. It's heart disease.
After abortion. But yes.
Well, yeah. Yeah, you're right. And I would question the mentality of any movement on any level that says you're good as is. Because the whole point of this religion is, look, your nature is good and you're created to be good and holy, but you have an unnatural attraction to evil. I'm sorry. Right. And and the only cure for that is sanctifying grace. That's it. There's no other way out. You can't think your way out of it. You can't govern your way out of it. You can't pass laws out of it. There's no other way. So it's, in a sense, look at forming your will and mortifying your flesh, not as ways to get hot. That's not the point.
No.
Right? The point, the self-improvement is like a byproduct.
Well, and honestly, sometimes trying to be disciplined isn't starving yourself to death.
Right.
Sometimes it's, like I've struggled with body image issues. What woman hasn't? And sometimes it's actually just being like, you know what? I actually need to sit down and have like a real meal today. There can be different kinds of discipline. It's not about, it's just about normalizing being unhealthy,
Christine, I'm doing intermittent fasting too. And I'm also trying to walk a little bit more. And, I'm never going to be an athletic guy, but I think that's good stuff to do is try and form your will, mortify your flesh a little bit. And like Angela's talking about within reason, the point is not to do something that's dangerous.
Well, but there are people posting videos like claiming that, what was it? Matt Walsh just played it yesterday. I saw it on something yesterday. Some woman talking about, what is it? Thin. It was just about people benefiting from being perceived as thin or whatever. And she was a very large woman, having thin privilege. And this woman was not thin, but she was claiming that she gets to benefit sometimes from thin privilege, even though she might have to get an extender on the airplane, all these other things, because she's not as big as somebody else. And it's like, no, that's not normal.
Yeah, it's so many people with mental illness. We're dealing with people with mental illness out here that's undiagnosed, and they walking around and they make it. All these people, mostly in these, in the political field, they sociopaths, they psychopaths, man. And you call this out, and you can see the little devious, creations that they birthing out,
and just the pushing of the victim culture, right? Like just everybody's a victim of something. It's like
that's what's killing everything. It's just you got to be a victim of something if you want your voice.
Yeah.
You got to be blaming something else for your misery.
And everybody tries to out minority the other person, like, okay, well, you're this, like if you look at the LGBTQ, whatever, okay, well, I'm pansexual. Okay, well, I'm whatever sexual. You know,
Wait.
they're trying
Say it
to.
again. I want to hear it again.
Who, me?
Yeah, what was that word?
LGBTQ.
No, the pan what?
Pansexual.
Yeah, and then Peter Pan gets offended, right?
You can't say it right. Why'd
Peter
you say
Pan
it
get
right?
offended.
But everybody tries to basically as well, not only with the victim mentality, they try to minority themselves more than the next group of people so they can say, woe is me.
Because it's a social currency. You actually are, the more victim status you can claim, the higher up you are in the hierarchy.
Yeah.
You know.
Also, well, it's good to be reminded that the reason obesity is such a big problem in America is because obesity only can exist in uber wealthy
I blocked
countries.
them, Rob.
And uber wealthy countries are like something completely new in this day and age, and it's something that especially in America, because being sort of quote unquote top dog for like a good 50 or 60 years, this is what happens to countries that are like that. They become decadent.
That's very true.
And going back to what Angela was talking about earlier with what's in our food,
Listen, Haley, block them all. I have no patience for any of them.
Pre-COVID, I traveled quite a bit internationally, and when you talk to people that travel internationally, like it never happened to me, but I've talked to other people as well. They said it's kind of crazy. They'll go to different countries, eat like garbage, not gain any weight, sometimes even lose weight. They come back here, try to get back on their healthy eating schedule, and they gain weight. And it's like there's something
the food
to
standards
our food.
are really bad here, like horrible. Yep.
All right. So does anybody know about the sloth answer?
I think Robbie tagged in first.
All right. So I'm looking for the virtue that corresponds to the capital sin of sloth.
Is it zeal?
It's not.
It's not zeal.
No, but that's a good guess.
Not good enough to save you from losing a point, though.
No.
That's all
Unless
right.
nobody else
That's
gets
okay.
it. Nobody else gets it. You don't lose the point.
I tagged in, but I have no idea. And then I was like, oh shoot, I actually don't know what it is. I was like, let me see, industriousness.
I mean, they're both good guesses, right? I mean,
That sounds like some
you don't want to be lazy,
to me.
so
Industriousness.
I definitely need to work on this virtue. That's for sure.
Jason, I guess you're the third one if you want to risk it.
Oh snap! Yeah, don't risk it, Jay.
Get it right.
Hey, I didn't
get it wrong.
No. I didn't put anything down. Did I? Oh no, I don't know.
Get it wrong, and
I guess I accidentally pushed it. I don't know.
All right, so Robbie, don't lose the point.
All right, perfect.
All right, so the answer,
Robbie, I'll send you my Venmo.
The answer, diligence.
Oh man,
that sounds a lot like industriousness.
I mean, it does. That's why I said it's. And even
there's a D in both of them.
That sounds a lot like zeal too.
And an N. There's a lot of similarities.
Yeah, nobody else had it. Anybody else have it? I see. I don't know because we went off on such a tangent there. I don't know if like people answered it before.
Oh, JMT, Christine, and Tobias had it.
Okay, good.
This is all Angela's fault, really.
I know. Well, I just think it's hilarious. Like, who has the time to go through somebody else's tweets and like find what they're doing that night, come and bombard like.
Overweight people that were very upset that you said they were overweight.
I think it's funny that's the subject.
We'll ride on them. We'll ride on them. We'll ride on them. We're gonna do old dog style. You know what I'm saying? We'll ride.
Listen, man, Robbie. Not everybody's from Texas, man. They don't all handle things the way we handle things, man. You can't just jump right to that, man.
I'm not even sure what he meant.
Neither do I.
Listen, man.
Mark, though, right there.
I got it, dude. I got it.
Kick in.
Okay, this is a good question.
We'll go handle this in person, man.
And we actually just went through this during Holy Week. So there's a ceremony that's performed. It's on Holy Thursday after the Blessed Sacrament has been transferred to the altar of repose. What is that ceremony? After you move the sacrament to the altar of repose, what do they do?
Oh,
What's the next act? Rob, you were demonstrating diligence.
Apparently.
Man, so who do you guys want about White Wolf being a Benny Plenus? That kid knows some answers. All right, I got it. Anybody click?
Okay, it was me, but I clicked it before I heard the whole question. I was thinking it was headed somewhere else, so we'll go with Darren. I don't know.
I was just gonna guess like benediction, maybe. I don't know.
That's what I was thinking at
guess
first.
It's been a long time since I've been to Holy Thursday.
Well,
see, Darren, that is where I thought the question was headed, but yeah, that's not it.
Anybody else know it? Stripping of the altar.
Oh yes, okay.
Yeah.
I did.
It's
I
just
thought there was
with
a
the
more
sacrament.
formal name for it. Okay.
All right, let's see. Name the capital sin that is an unreasonable appetite for food or drink.
Definitely
I
not
got that
related
one,
to
too.
anything we talked about today.
Hey, Ann should have got that one right now.
Unblock all those people.
Oh yeah, Haley, can you have that Brittany back? She might know this one.
Yeah.
AKA the thing that is going to drag Mark to hell if he doesn't get it under control.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, man, it's not just food or drink. This thing,
That's
It's
true.
True.
it's
That's
overindulgence in anything, really. You know, and
Yeah.
Well, that's
too
getting
big
it
of a
close
hint?
with, like avarice.
all right, let's answer the question first, and then we'll have that conversation. Let's see. All right, which one of you guys got it?
Robbie,
Yeah, it's gluttony.
It is gluttony. So now I would consider gluttony not just food or drink. Not that I would say overindulging in any carnal appetite would be gluttony, right?
Well,
Well,
that's
Lust has a specific category.
Yeah, that's
is-
true. Yeah.
well, but
using
the three of
others for
them,
that.
the three go hand in hand: sloth, gluttony, and lust. And so, like, if you're struggling with sins against purity, or you're struggling against purity, first thing a good confessor is going to ask you is, let's talk about your
Eating
gluttony.
habits.
Let's talk
Yeah.
about sloth, because
Yeah.
if you're just sitting there saying, "Well, I'll just avert my eyes
Yeah.
to this or that,"
Food-
I just won't
the
watch
stomach
pornography."
is the gateway to all those other things.
Yeah, man, you've got to form your will and mortify your flesh in all three of those areas, because those three things all go hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
That's 100% true. Like, and I didn't know that until I started going to the traditional mass and like started learning that. Like, I don't know how personal I should get. There were things I was struggling with that I wasn't able to kick until I started fasting.
Sure.
You
Well,
know?
that's what
Like
our
me-
Lord said. There are some demons that can only
That
be
can only
cast
be
out through
cast
prayer
out.
and fasting.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
That are years in my past now that I was not able to kick until I started fasting and doing that.
maybe Mac is lactose intolerant. He's having other issues.
Wait a minute, Steven. The fridge is the gateway to my stomach. Brick, I'm not going to post it on screen, but that's the exact thing I'm talking about. So I don't want to, I don't know who's got kids in the car or whatever. All right.
Oh, I better get ready.
On what occasion? Wait, what am I missing?
The fridge is the gateway to my stomach.
All right, so here we go. All right, on what occasion were the 8 Beatitudes given to us by Christ? And I don't like that the phrasing.
Wait,
of that.
can you rephrase that? Or
Saying on what occasion did Christ give us the Beatitudes? But I would say
Oh.
what location more than occasion.
dang it, I just read that last night. I need to work on my trigger right now. My
Yeah,
trigger
you gotta get
finger.
that trigger finger going.
It just before he even gets done asking the question, just buzz
I-
in.
Yeah, but then then I'm afraid that I won't know the answer.
That's okay. You just lose a point. I mean,
Yeah,
I
and they
suppose.
don't really matter anyway. So
That's
whatever.
true.
Well,
That's true. You'll probably win anyways.
Who's
Yeah.
redneck Catholic? Rob, you know him?
I don't know. You called me.
I mean,
redneck Catholic.
I was gonna
But
say, I
other
thought
than
we were.
Yeah.
No, Haley, send me his info, and I mean, anybody that wants to come on is welcome to come on.
Yeah, we don't know him.
What about Matt Frad?
I mean, he's got to go through a screening process, but if he passes the screening process, we'll let him on. All right, which one you guys got it?
I got it. Sermon on the Mount.
It is the Sermon on the Mount. We got scores yet, Rob? How's everybody doing?
Jason and Darren are tied.
Ooh.
At what?
3.
Yeah, because I lost a point.
Yep.
So,
And because Darren got the 2 points at the very first.
Okay, when he
question.
said at what, I was gonna go at trivia, Jason. That's what we're playing. What are you talking about, man?
You continue to embarrass me, Jason.
You're embarrassing me in front of our friends. Stop it.
In the chat, we have JMT with 8. We have White Wolf with 6, and Don with 5.
all right, now I'm gonna say something here. If any of those guys win, I'm sending them a prize, even though they've won. You guys are back in competition, except Don. Don's not getting it. But JMT, you can win again. You're back up. On the
Except
winner's
we
table.
don't have the keychain thurible. You'll just
I'll send him one though. I will get him one. I will definitely get him one. You might have to resend me your address. I don't have that old account anymore. Let's see.
Mark, what did you do to Jason?
He's punishing him.
Yeah, he's in timeout, man. He's
All right.
mispronounced. He's mispronounced his last word on this show.
Too
I
bad he
reported
doesn't
him.
show all
I
the
reported
time.
him to the Vatican Dicastry for homosexuality and mispronunciations.
Wouldn't they just get him a promotion?
We all say some words so bad, right? Every one of us. What was the one I got? You guys got on for St. John Chrysostom.
Chrysanthemum. St. John
Chrysanthemum.
Chrysanthemum.
Tridentine.
All right, this is a good question. What term refers to the inordinate desires for sinful pleasures, sinful sensual pleasure? So the inordinate desire for sinful sensual pleasure. That's a tongue twister.
The unnatural attraction to evil we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And this is an easy one to mispronounce, too.
So,
Yeah.
yes, Don does attend my parish, and his gift is seeing me every Sunday. It's very good. Yeah, exactly. He doesn't even read I did give Don a prize when I saw him last Sunday. So, but he hasn't read it yet.
Laura's here.
Oh, look who showed up.
You missed all the controversy.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a couple of stalkers show up.
I can only imagine what my podcast reviews look like right now.
Oh, my goodness.
You know what, Rob?
Right.
Rob,
Yeah.
you got to read some podcast reviews before
Oh.
the show comes. Look who's
There he
back.
is.
Jesus
Where do you
back.
get most
Hey,
of the
yeah,
reviews on, Angela?
I don't think this block for this computer's charging because we lost our other one. But anyways, I'm on my phone and I don't have much juice on it either. So
Failures all around, Jason.
it's just my life, Rob.
Whoever you are. Like me yelling at my children.
Yeah. So I know that's right.
You know who I'm talking to.
Let's see.
Okay, so what was the question?
You didn't type in first. So
Yeah, you didn't get in fast enough. So it really doesn't matter. All right, which one of you guys got it?
Mark.
Big Mark.
Yes, sir. Concupiscence.
It
I
is
would've known that.
concupiscence. All right, so I'm gonna read this review.
Oh, no.
Now,
Is this
I'm
on
pretty-
Angela's or is this on ours?
No,
On
this
yours?
is a review for our show, which I'm pretty sure
Okay,
this
okay,
is
okay.
Jeff. I'm pretty sure this is Jeff. So frauds. 5 stars. Once you win on their Catholic trivia show, they congratulate you. Then, like a drug dealer, if you win a second time, they ban you from competing again, thus denying you your rightful prize of an authentic, functional, thurible keychain that incenses throughout the day to not only bring glory to the Lord God Almighty, but also drive out the foul spirits that dwell in the deep places of the world, which may have surfaced and taken up residence in your vehicle. A strong recommend to avoid. So I'm pretty sure that was Jeff. Let's see. Rigid, but with good music tastes. This is from Susan from the parish council. These strapping young men are in schism with the new springtime of Vatican II. They ask trivia questions about the old, dusty, rigid Latin mass, but not a single question about Thomas Merton, Catholic yoga, centering prayer, prayer labyrinths, or liturgical dancing.
Yes.
At least they know and appreciate good Catholic hymns. The music that good-looking Italian man plays at the beginning of the episode really gets the spirit.
Now pay attention, Jason. This is the way to gripe right here. This is good. I like this.
I'm almost convinced that was Anthony that typed that because he's
I wish
good-looking Italian guy.
Listen, if I'm going to throw something, I'm going to make fun of myself first. You want to read mine? Mine was one of the first ones down there.
I gave you a sweet one.
Let's see.
I don't think you understood the mission, Jason.
Well, y'all gave the mission afterwards.
You guys want? This is the one I wrote. The worst podcast ever. These guys stink. All the trivia answers are wrong. The host never shuts up about his family and says the word literally 800 times an episode. 5 stars. Definitely check it out. That was the one I wrote.
I will say you do talk about your family a lot less.
Yeah, because you guys made fun of me so much about it, so I stopped talking about it. Plus, they're not in the chat anymore. They abandoned us.
Are you self-conscious, Anthony?
A little. Not. I try not to show it, but a little. Everybody is, right?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. The 19th General Council of the Church was held where?
Oh.
19th Council.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, no.
The General Council, not
Who numbers them like that?
The 19th Ecumenical Council.
Oh.
There was only one council. We all know that.
Yes.
It was
There
the
was only
council.
one council.
Of course.
Definitely one council.
There are lots of Pokemasses up by us, unfortunately.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never even come across
Hey,
one.
Darren, you're gonna have to take this one. My fat finger was by the button to push it, and I guess it picked up on it.
How do
Because I
you,
don't know this answer.
you don't know this answer?
You're gonna know it, Jason. You're gonna be annoyed.
You're gonna know it. You're gonna be like, I can't believe I didn't know that.
I don't know.
Oh,
Schneider's
I know
gonna
what it is. No,
Bishop Schneider's gonna disavow you.
Well, just
I
think.
know what it is. Oh my god.
What council was Vatican II?
Exactly. And then count
The
backwards.
council.
Honestly, I don't know.
No, I know.
Honestly, I don't know the number here.
I had to think about it.
Does it help if we tell you there's been 21 so far?
Yeah.
All right, yeah. There's been 21 so far.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll take a shot at it. And maybe lose a point.
Oh, you'll get it. If you take a little bit of time to think about it, you'll get it.
Okay, yeah. So if it's 20, okay, it's 21. You're okay. Why didn't I remember that? Idiot.
19. You're asking for the 19th.
Yeah. So, are we answering now?
Yeah.
Oh, so obviously then 20 was Vatican I. I would say Trent before that.
Trent is correct.
There you go. Yeah.
So we got Trent, and Trent.
You don't have to give me a point for that because I had so many freaking clues.
Padre Peregrino is Father Dave Nix's channel. You absolutely can promote Father Dave Nix's channel on ours. Everybody should definitely check out. He has a new series on the Catechism of the Council of Trent, by the way. Father Dave Nix is a very good friend of ours. You can always promote something of his on this channel. Yeah, you know what? We'll have to get him on here again. He's a busy guy, but me and Connor were actually talking about that before the show. I'll get him back on. You know what I'll do? I'll cut this little clip up of us talking about him. He'll be thrilled. I'll text it to him. So Steven's got a big announcement next spring. Hope you guys can wait till then.
Yeah, I'm gonna forget about it by tomorrow. What are you talking about?
Steven has a show idea. So me and Rob told him to film a pilot, send it over, and we'll let him know if he made the cut. Okay, let's see. The church militant refers to the members of the Catholic Church residing where?
Come on, jeez.
This one, I don't need help. You know, sometimes like we talked about the ecumenical council.
Michael Voorhees' basement.
I don't know the number or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Sorry.
And then somebody tells you, and you're like, actually, I do know that.
Yeah.
Dude, a couple of weeks ago, I told Rob, I'm like, I got a really good idea for an intro of the show, and I thought it was so funny, and I said it, and nobody even caught on, and then I was going to do another one tonight. So 2-3 weeks ago, I started the show off, and I went, "Greetings, Power Show, if it's a retro." Oh wait, that's not our show. And then tonight I was going to say hello and welcome to the Vortex. Lies and falsehoods addressed and exposed. But you guys didn't catch it the last time I started with the.
You said I didn't catch it.
Flanders one. You guys, nobody paid attention.
Sued. Copyright infringement.
Yeah.
Definitely don't do the
And
Vortex.
they'll get you too. They'd be the ones who'd get you too.
Who's that, Maddie? Maddie, you being a good boy today.
Say thank you, Anthony.
Thank you, MBG.
How many kids you have, Rob? You have 2?
2, yeah.
2, yeah.
All right. All right, Haley, you can block her. You can block her.
Dude, we got a Jets here in town. Robbie, you know, I'm sure you know Jets from back in Detroit. And and Jets is one of the reasons why I need to mortify my flesh, because man, that pizza is so good.
Wave and say hi, Lauren.
Hi, Rowan.
Let's see.
Whoa, Papa.
Oh, your children's voice identified by 10 Pentagon 5 years old. All right, somebody. I need a new moderator to bounce the moderator. I never had Detroit pizza.
Just so happy Detroit getting some love out here, man. Yeah, that makes me feel good, man. You know,
Did you miss the great pizza debate a few weeks ago on Twitter?
I might have.
No,
Okay.
I was there. Wait, what?
No,
Who bounced who bounced Angela?
Her internet was down.
How long? We can't hear you.
Wow, now we can't
well,
hear you.
Rob's
There we
appearing-
go.
Okay.
There we go.
Wait, how long were you down there? I didn't even notice you were not there.
You didn't even notice I was gone?
Wow.
No, I
You
was
missed
reading
my
comments.
big
I was
forehead
reading
leaving
such a
the
misogynist.
building.
He only remembers when men are gone.
I know, he's a total misogynist. It's
Totally.
fine, I understand.
I don't. What is going on here? It's all you Detroit pizza people.
Detroit pizza's so good, man.
New York.
Really?
Why did we lose Rob?
I'm not saying it's
No.
better. I'm not saying it's better, because I'm not one of these people who thinks like there's a better way to do pizza, but because I think it all depends on what you're in the mood for. Like we've got a place, and it's called Tony's here in town. They do the New York pie. The only thing we don't have here is Chicago style, which
Mark,
I can take or
You
leave.
ain't missing nothing with Chicago
Mark,
style.
no.
I can take it or
Like,
leave it.
a bunch of sauce thrown on, and the meat is wet underneath.
It's good, but I
Yeah.
can't, like, you can't, nobody, like, I lived in Chicago for years.
The
I went
pie.
to college there, and nobody was like, oh man, let's go get a Chicago deep dish pizza.
Of
Like,
course not.
Because you can't just pick it up with your hand and eat it
Nah,
like a
you
slice.
gotta
You
use
got
a
to take
fork
eat
a
and
that
fork
like
and-
once in a
Wait, I have to
You
address
actually-
this
you
comment.
actually have
You
to
know-
eat like a civilized person.
You know
I have
what?
to address
It
this
really
comment.
doesn't matter because they all make a turd.
White Wolf.
So you're fine.
Wait, White Wolf. Scranton has New York pizza because all New York retirees go up there, and you're getting New York pizza in Scranton, but the water is disgusting in Scranton, so the pizza sucks in Scranton.
I hear
Just
the paper
saying.
companies are great though.
You know, Father Rock at our parish, I was talking to him about pizza, and he's from New Jersey, and he was saying the reason New Jersey has the best pizza is because of the water in New Jersey and the vegetables and all that. He said that's why it's better than other places.
Well, you know why New Yorkers are so upset? Because the light at the end of the tunnel is Jersey. Just kidding. Shout out to New Jersey.
That's
Love you
actually
guys.
funny.
I'm just kidding.
This is all
Shout out to the Garden State.
No, the Garden State is the worst. So I will say. Did I ask a question? Oh, the church militant. Where does the church militant reside?
On earth.
On earth.
Correct. Did anybody in the chat even answer it?
Yeah.
I preferred. I preferred the. What was it? Mark, did you say Michael Voris's basement?
Yeah, Michael Voris's basement. Yeah.
That's where the church.
I preferred that answer.
All right, White Wolf. We finally agree on something. All right.
How long are we going tonight? Or how?
We'll wrap it up in a few minutes.
Dude,
I mean, an hour and a half is
man.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what it is? I rushed everybody off last time, but 9:30 is a good time. I mean, well, you know, what's the score, Rob? What do we got?
Rob's not even here.
Yeah, we lost Rob a while ago.
You didn't notice when Angela left. Now you don't even notice when your co-host.
What's going on here?
He's too busy staring at himself.
I'm looking at commented questions. Look at my. How did I get on this box?
Vanity answer.
Do we have a question on vanity?
All right.
And Jason lost battery.
What sin are you guilty of when you only pay attention to yourself and nobody else that's a guest on the show?
Is this an actual question?
Oh, we've got some answers.
Guys are over 90 minutes. Soon you'll be longer
Jason's
than the
computer
rundown.
died.
All right, vanity. Yes, I'm a bit vain. All right.
You're gonna regret having me join you on this show. If not for the trolls.
Rubbing oil on the face. It's got to be baby oil, though, man. You got to get greased up.
Oh my God. Please no.
Yikes. Yikes.
Right.
Thank you, Robbie, for that horrifying image. I owe you a nightmare now.
You putting baby oil all over me?
I owe you a nightmare now.
What do you think? What do you think when I was on the boat? I wasn't lathered up in baby oil.
Baby oil on you, then mama couldn't grab you. You know what I'm saying? You be slipping out the hands and stuff. That's how you get out.
Oh my goodness. And that's our show, everybody.
I mean, we can't even find the winner because our co-host left. But all right, what is a cycle of prayers spanning 9 days?
Yeah. You want me to go ahead and answer?
Wait. Let's wait for the chat. Hang on.
Oh, okay.
Yes, get the money, Robbie.
A lot of people are very upset at the thought of me lathered up in baby oil.
Understandable.
The best part is we really don't know who won this episode. All right, go ahead, Rob.
Novena.
It is a novena. Mm-hmm. All you guys are answering, but you're always getting the points without my co-host. I don't even know who's got points.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Angela wins.
It's not like you really pay attention to the points and determining who the winner is.
You coming back? I just saw him.
Guess who's back?
Hey, Robbie.
You just bail on us like that? No warning, nothing?
No.
I wish whoever that was that just started singing Eminem, I wish you hadn't. It's going to be stuck in my head all night.
All right, so Rob, while you were gone, Robbie lost 3 points. No, Robbie got a point. I think that's it, right? And then you got Don, Jeff, and Rupia Kid. So, Rob, we're gonna wrap it up because everybody's a little tired. It's 9:30. So, what's those scores?
And got to get to the baby oil. Gotta get to that CVS. And gotta get that CVS. Hit that CVS up real quick.
Bro, I'm gonna come on with baby oil next time. Oh my God! I'm gonna lather my whole face in it.
That should actually. Well,
slick that hair back, baby. Go, slick
just
it back.
Let it go.
Okay, so for scores, Jason won.
All
Good
right.
job, Jay.
Jason won with 4, and then Mark, Robbie, and Dan were tied with 3.
Oh, good job, boys.
I came
That's
up
a
with a
good show.
tie today. Yeah.
And
I
Connor
think
and Angela, you had
Pulling
0.
my weight.
Sorry.
I'm proud of
It's okay.
0. It's better than -1.
I get 0 every week, guys.
And then in the chat, Jeff won with 10.
Jeff,
Don
Jeff, you're
and
getting your
White Wolf
thorough
were tied with
keychain,
7.
Jeff, you got to DM me your address again because I don't have the same account. I am sending Jeff his thurible keychain. I can't promise it works because I don't think you can actually burn incense in it.
Aw.
It
Is
is
it
a
worth
thurible
it then?
keychain. Oh, it's very cool. It's a very cool keychain.
Where do you get it?
You know what? You know what? I'll post the link on my Twitter.
It's over there.
I will post the link on my
behind the
Twitter
link.
when I find it. So, all right, who's promoting what? Connor, we'll start with you. What do you got coming up?
So, what I just released yesterday an episode with Dr. Jared Stout. He is the guy who wrote the beer option, but he's also an expert in catechesis. So we had a discussion about catechesis, and it gets into a really interesting discussion on catechesis and how liturgy affects catechesis. It's interesting because I've always thought, this wasn't purposeful when I actually was doing the interview, but I've come to realize that a lot of the well-educated Catholics that we had been following for were popular for 20-ish years. I'm not saying necessarily Dr. Stout, but knew about the Latin Mass and knew about what Mass is supposed to look like, the reverence, but they never actually told everyone else because maybe they were following a good strategy of let's teach people, what they need to learn, and then they'll find their way to the Latin Mass, but it was taking forever instead of just telling people about the Latin Mass. But for the most part, these, like Patrick Madrid, Dr. Scott Hahn, Dr. Jared Stout, a lot of these people attend or sort of view the Latin Mass very positively, but never really talk about it.
They were trying to stay away from liturgy wars.
Sure, but that's how you can't really make the situation better.
No.
It's it makes it end up being the people, the intellects get the nice Mass, but the people who don't really get, it's not really a criticism.
It's something that actually upset me a lot because if it wasn't for those Catholic converts of the 90s and early 2000s, I would not have found my Catholic faith. Like Scott Hahn played such a significant role in my conversion. So did Brant Petrie and Jeff Cavins, all those guys. So none of them ever mentioned liturgy.
Yeah,
Ever.
I really understand why they don't, and it's not really it's like a half gripe, I would say, I have with them, and not with anyone specifically or anything like that. It's more just it would have been nice if it sort of took Taylor Marshall and these other guys to sort of break through sort of the social media stuff.
Yeah.
But it would have been nice.
So now is that episode up already?
Yeah, it's called Catholic Catechesis. It's on my my YouTube channel, Plotlines. It's all Plotlines is also on all the major podcasting websites. We actually have video podcast on Spotify.
Really?
Yeah, I it was, you could apply for a pilot opportunity to do that, and they accepted Plotlines for some reason.
That's awesome. Wow. Yeah, guys, if you don't subscribe to Plotlines, please go subscribe to Plotlines. Connor gives us every week, gives us his time. He's one of my favorite people that I've met since doing this show. I really appreciate your everything you do coming on here, Connor. And I love your show, man. I really
Thanks,
do enjoy watching your show a lot. Angela, I enjoy your show too. What do you got coming up?
Well, I did have an interview scheduled for this week, and it ended up not working out. So this week, I'm actually going to do an episode on talking about home birth, which maybe isn't going to interest everyone, but I actually do think a lot of guys should listen to it because a lot of men when their wives want to have a home birth, are totally opposed to it. And so I'm just going to talk about that and somewhat of my own health journey. I haven't done an episode like this since I did my episode on coping with grief and trauma. And if you haven't listened to that episode, I know a lot of people really liked that episode. So check that one out. I think it's like my 6th podcast episode. And then this one kind of ties in with health and our home birth experience.
And if nobody saw this week, there was that story floating around of that couple that the husband took a paternity test and it turns out the baby wasn't his.
Yes.
He wanted a divorce. Turns out the baby wasn't the wife's either. The baby was switched at birth in the hospital, which is just another good idea to have a home birth.
My.
So, yeah, that was a wild story.
My wife has actually been talking about if we have another baby about going through a home birth. So I think she's even been looking into it more. So I'll have to have her check out your episode.
You should. Yeah. And it's too, like, even my husband, we never thought that's something we would do. But then, and I'll talk about it a little bit more, obviously, in the podcast. But yeah, 2020 was just kind of the thing where we were like, we're just done with a lot of this stuff. And it was
especially
so much better than we could have
separating the parents from the babies. My cousin had a baby during COVID, and the baby has severe separation anxiety because the first 10 days they got false positive COVID tests, even though they had already had it.
Yeah.
And the baby, they weren't allowed to hold for the first 10 days. And that baby, you could see, is traumatized from it. Like,
yeah, and that kind of ties in a lot with even just issues of surrogacy and a lot of other. It's just that all of this institutionalized medicine, especially when it comes to obstetrics, is there's a lot of stuff that needs to be addressed. So anyway, I'm going to be talking about that a little bit in my episode and just our journey, especially because a lot of women are usually afraid to have more kids for whatever reason, So we talk about that too. So. Yeah.
Now we lost Robbie. I'm not sure where he went. I guess he had to bail. But Mark and Jay, what do you guys got coming up?
Well, we still have we were going to do our show on the Eucharist, but we're having some scheduling issues, so we're still working that out. And then Jason and I are planning on doing an episode, hopefully tomorrow, Jace?
Yeah, if you can.
We want to do an episode tomorrow about probably the toughest thing in the world to do as a Catholic, and that is forgiveness. And it's something that I wanted to talk about for a while because I feel like we spend a lot of time talking about what the Pope's doing, what these cardinals are doing, how Nancy Pelosi's getting community. Meanwhile, there's people out there, there's brother and sister Catholics who are hurting over something. It could be a miscarriage. It could be falling out with family. It could be I took my kid to a 4th of July parade and now I don't got no kid anymore. And how do you reach a level of forgiveness where in places where it's really, really hard? That's something that I've wanted to talk about for a while, because I think the ordinary needs of ordinary Catholics kind of get lost in the befuddlement of what's going on with celebrities, and I think I'm kind of done. I don't not that I say I don't care what Nancy Pelosi does, but I'm not her bishop. That's not my circus. That's not my monkeys. God will judge them at the end of time, just like he'll judge all of us. But I think that there's some issues that are going on with average, normal, everyday Catholics that I'd like to spend some more time on. So, that's what we got going on.
You guys going to do it live, or are you going to pre-record?
I think we're going to do a pre-recording. Make sure we get our pronunciations correctly.
All right. Well, once you guys actually put that together, send me the link, and I'll make sure I tweet it out, and I'll post that up for you guys also.
We'll do.
Jay, you got anything also?
No, I don't have anything, Dad.
All right. Darren, you got anything going on, or are you just hanging with us?
Nope.
I'm
not having anything going on.
Darren, hopefully we'll be back next week. Guys, thank you so much. Like, seriously, I hope you guys know how grateful we are that you guys give us this time every week, man. I have such a fun time doing it with you guys. So you'll always be invited, and we'll see how next week's schedule looks. Me and Rob will talk off air, and we'll figure out what we're going to do. We'll probably do something coming up soon too, right, Rob?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, we got a couple ideas we're floating out there. So, guys, thank you for coming. Rob, you want to close us out?
Yes, sir. Have a good night, everyone.
God bless you all.
Thanks, guys.
Good night.